victory straight out the huddle. I'm at the plug, introduced to my brothers. My squad superior, ain't none above us. We doing numbers. Gang in the building, we taking it over.
Feeling like I can't miss. Baby, it's all in the wrist. You really wanna be the boss, it's expensive. Ain't the real champ if you never defend it. Put in that work, I'ma make them remember. I just broke down hella trees, yelling timber. Stand in the line, they put me in the center. It blow their mind when they see how I'm winning. Went back and doubled up, now you in trouble. My all hustle, my diamonds are huddled up. TGOD got this off the muscle. That's me about my life, man, I love it, I love it. Got so many rings, I need room for another one. Been through the pain, now it ain't no more struggle. My team win the game, put our face on the cover, brother. We the champions.
Here in Los Angeles, we doing numbers. Bringing home victory straight out the huddle. I'm at the plug, introduced to my brothers. My squad superior, ain't none of.
We are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Tonight we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Mexico City Diablos and our home team. Season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16.
He will return this from deep in the end zone.
And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further. On first down, they'll start out with Hubbard. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold them.
Ready.
On the handoff, running left is Hubbard. Called a gain of 12, but of course not a first down due to the previous penalty. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
And he'll be corralled right around the 34. A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards.
That's what I love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. He's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. I always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. On second down, here's a run with Hubbard.
And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he fires one, but incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
Ready.
They'll try and throw for it here. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the game. And this defense holds firm here on the opening drive of the night.
1st and 10, Taylor down. And he's able to work his way down inside the red zone to the 19-yard line. They pick up 12 on the play, and the chains move. For a lot of people, MVP award means a quarterback award usually, but over 100 yards again last week. They're going to have to look his way more than once when giving out this award this season, I think.
Yeah, it's not just the consistency. There's been some plays that we've seen where we talk about it for weeks thereafter. That's what we're getting out of him. Over 100 yards last week. Expects to continue that in this game, too.
He's got it. And he gets into the end zone for the touchdown. So remember now, this was all set up by the stop defensively on 4th down. That's what got him this great field position. And then 2 plays later, they're already in the end zone.
Yeah, partner, funny how it works like that, huh? That's a momentum swing amusement park style. Your defense comes off the field, bouncing, grooving, they're fired up, and it carries over to the other side of the ball.
So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. From deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. After the sack here, 2nd and 11. Back to throw. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. They'll drop to throw. Oh, ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion. And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come. Running straight ahead, Taylor. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
2nd and 11. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Now Charles dealing with a 3rd and long. They'll have to try to go back to the air again, and this time avoid the sack.
Certainly hard to try to establish momentum when all you're doing is going backwards, not protecting the passer, and he gets dumped on his backside.
They're going to look to throw. That is caught at the 7. And he will not be able to get the first as he can get this only down to the 5. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
Nice job understanding the situation. 3rd and long, kept the play in front of them and made the tackle. They gave up a good chunk of yardage, but it does force a 4th down.
He'll look to throw. And oh, it'll be intercepted. And the Browns are going to get the ball back on the turnover as they hold on 4th down. I appreciate the aggressiveness trying to go for it there on 4th down, but you're in the red zone, have 3 points in your back pocket. Instead, Charles, they throw it away.
Certainly a big call to go for it on 4th down. As you said, in the red zone, definitely going to cost them 3 points, and we'll see how that affects the game as time goes on.
Got his man, it's Thornton. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. 14-yard line, 2nd and 11. He'll look to throw. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. They'll look to throw. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him. The Browns send out their punter now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. Breaks the tackle, now an alley. A terrific return, 30 yards all in all. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. To the right side, this is Taylor.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
This defense for the Browns, they were terrific in the win over Tennessee a week ago.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. They go to the ground again with Taylor. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
4 yards remain on 2nd down. Ball on the 10. Slot man moves right. And the slot man goes in motion left. On 2nd down, it's Taylor. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Jonathan Taylor with touchdown number 27. That ties Priest-Holmes for the 3rd most in a single year. And the Diablos have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. This will be returned from deep in the end zone. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line. So bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision. Loses him about 4 yards. Here we go. The Browns drive about to get started. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still 2nd quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. And some room to roam now. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. Turns out to be a great idea to tuck that one. Good for 24 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Forced out to his left. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
I think the defense surprised him there with that blitz on 1st down, but give him credit. Stayed cool under pressure and still found a way through the extra rushers for positive yardage. Well done.
They'll run out of the gun. It's Hubbard. And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've only converted once in 4 tries. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Meanwhile, this one knocked down in the backfield. It's incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed. unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
They'll run for it. It's Hubbard. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. So they convert on fourth, and now from just outside the 30, here's 1st and 10. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30. Here's 2nd and 9. They'll set up a throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, this defense is going to have to finish the job. There's still a second half that they have to play. But so far, an absolute total effort. They've disrupted the passing game, stressed the pocket for the quarterback. They forced him into errant throws. Everything they're doing has been executed well.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Nice call by the defense there on 3rd down. Just flood the field with extra defensive backs in their dime package. Nowhere to go with the football. Forces the incompletion.
Already down 2 scores. They're going to go for this rather than settle for 3. They'll look to throw here. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Browns unable to move the chains on 4th down. And as a result, possession switches hands. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And it's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, that could really put them in command before intermission.
And it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But it's the NFL. How many times we watch 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
Well, normally you see 3 tight ends in a formation. You have to think to yourself, this has got to be a run. And I know as a safety, when I saw that, I took an extra step or 2 towards the line of scrimmage. Instead, they threw the ball, and he found one of those tight ends for a very nice pickup.
And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Ready.
2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2. They run once more with Taylor. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. It leaves them with 3rd and just a yard. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. Room here to run. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 70 yards rushing for him now in this one as he is closing in on 1,800 yards for the year.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Ready.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Taylor. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Touchdown! Jonathan Taylor. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Diablos will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that makes the score 21-0. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Browns drive about to get started. And with a 3-score deficit staring them in the face, they might have to press the issue here and try to get points out of this drive. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the defense will get their hands on it, going the other way. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand. Put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
On the move to his man, a big loss here as he's taken down. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. That's complete. It's Elijah Moore. And they'll work this down inside the 30. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. They'll go with a touch pass here, trying to pick it up. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage.
No gain on the play. It's now 4th down.
On for the field goal now is Evan McPherson. From the right hash, it's a 46-yard attempt. McPherson's kick is good, and the route is on. It's 24-0. So the fumble recovery had them set up in ideal field position, but they can muster only 3 points out of it.
Yeah, when you're able to force turnovers, especially when it results in field position like they had, you really want to make it hurt. Here, they take the field goal. That's definitely not what they were hoping for.
And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it. No, bottled up, fumble. It's out, it's loose. But I think a Brown was able to recover, and they'll indeed hold on to the ball here. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And no fireworks to start the half. This will be a touchback. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They'll come out throwing here on first down. That's Waddle. He's got the catch on the out route. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He was unable to shake free there. They'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
Made the quick throw there outside the numbers, and you can feel the thought process. They just wanted to get in his hands and let him make a play. But how about the job they did defensively to keep him bottled up? Instead, they tackle him for a loss.
Up the middle, here's Taylor. And he's got some space here. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 98 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. Back to Taylor on first down. And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Again, it's Taylor. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. That's going to be complete to his tight end, Everett. And they're going to have another 1st down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 19. Forget the run on 3rd and 1. They shock the D and rip off a pretty big play.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking of throwing to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the 1st down and then some.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call run fits, everyone was in the right place.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the 2nd half. That's just his 2nd incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, but a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
8th play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on 3rd down. On 3rd down, here's Taylor. And they'll hustle up to stop him well shy of the 1st, right around the 15. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
They'll run for it. It's Taylor. And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. Jonathan Taylor, a 15-yard touchdown run. And the Diablos take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Browns drive about to get started. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the 2nd half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible. And this possession is an empty one.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. And this will be broken up and incomplete. Now a penalty flag down, and they may be going backward here. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4th.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. Throw finding Thornton over the middle. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the ball will go over
turnover on downs on the short side of the field.
Here we go. Here we go.
They give to Taylor out of the gun. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. On the counter, it's Taylor. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
On the handoff, Taylor. Calling no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
So the big return had him fired up, but in the end, the offense stalls out. They only muster 3.
Yeah, the excitement was there after the return, but they didn't move the ball at all after that. They didn't even get a 1st down.
Now this will be a return from deep in the end zone. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. They're able to complete this one to Tyler Conklin. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a 1st down. Well, the margin on that scoreboard, obviously for them, it looks daunting. But I don't know, Charles. They're probably not focused on that right now. Maybe just chaining together a positive drive with plays like we just saw, giving themselves something to build on.
Yeah, I think you're right about that, and what they have to be careful of is getting glued to that scoreboard trying to do too much. Because if you do that, you're all but guaranteed to start making mistakes. Just focus on one play at a time and make each one successful.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. Things just kind of continuing to unravel for them here in this 2nd half. They take the shot downfield, but this defense, once again, up to the task.
Well, this is where you think about the old phrase, desperate times call for desperate measures, because they've got nothing on the scoreboard, and they're just trying to get something, anything to go their way. But in this case, they turn the ball over.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10. And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40. 144 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. He continues to have a big night here under the lights carrying the football.
And some guys prefer night games. For whatever reason, their bodies react a certain way. They love the spotlight. Maybe that's what it is. The best seats in the house, the ones where he's carrying the football for his offensive teammates. The worst seats, the 11 guys trying to tackle him on defense.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Ready?
1st down, here's White. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. When this offense gathers to watch the tape, they're going to like a lot of what they saw. They put up big numbers, but they might fast forward through that last play.
Oh, there won't be any fast forwarding, partner. I've sat in those sessions before. You end up spending more time on the bad plays than you do on the good ones. It's just the nature of coaches. But I know sitting in that room, when you've had a big game, the night that they've had, you don't want to hear that. You just want to focus on the good stuff.
So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming.
That's the end of the third quarter.
One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on third down. In motion goes the tight end. On the handoff, this is Taylor. And he's got room. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. That good for 22 and a first down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. A gain of 3, second down.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. On second down, they'll run with White. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
I have zero rooting interest in either team in this game. I only want a good game. But with all the offense we've seen from them tonight, it's kind of nice to see the defense step up and make a big play.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were ever going to get him in the backfield. Nice to see him get a stop. They'll go with a touch pass here, trying to pick it up. And he will score. It's a touchdown. Elijah Moore from 10 yards out. And the Diablos are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead. When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we haven't been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
And they'll accept that penalty.
It's a parade Szn5 City is. We ain't gonna talk too much. We don't play football, but he can still come back.
And what is going on here? Are they serious? First down, and they're in punt formation. Oh, it's a wobbler here. And not his best effort there, as this one's going to be spotted down just outside of the 40-yard line.
At the 41-yard line.
Here we go.
First and 10, Taylor now. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And he's going to take this down close to a first down at the Browns' 32. 178 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. The offense on third down tonight, they're at 50%, 4 for 8. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. On the draw is Taylor. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
And he works his way free all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone. The conversion is successful with a sizable gain of 13, and the decision to go for it looks like a smart one. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, God.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So how about the season, Charles, that he continues to put together? That's now 25 rushing touchdowns on the year. That's getting into some very rarefied territory.
Yeah, it made you and I do a little extra homework prior to this one in anticipation, because that one moves him past John Riggins with 24. He draws even with Szn5 at 25 in 1995. Next up, Priest Holmes and Sean Alexander with 27. And the guy on top, LT, LaDainian Tomlinson, the Hall of Famer, he had 28 in 2006.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. And what is this? They're lining up here to punt on first down. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. Powers through it. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Going right side is White. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
So 3rd down now. They need the 27-yard line for a first. Opting to run again here with White. And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the first down. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. And when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
McPherson's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
This one taken just inside the 10. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. He's going to let it fly. And that's caught inside the 35. And I think the ball's out, and that is going to skip out of bounds. So a break there for sure. They'll hold on to the possession at the 5-yard line. Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation. And he is going to lose yardage here. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets them back now for second down.
Let's go now.
Out of the gun, here's the hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. It's going the other way. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, partner, I think it's safe to say they can mark this down as extremely frustrating. Here we are in the fourth quarter, and that last play, that turnover, I think it epitomizes what happened to them all day on offense.
So symbolic, and that's why they're still being shut out. And he was very fortunate there to get out of his end zone. He maybe got back to the 2-yard line. No gain there as he kept it himself at second down.
Really shouldn't be a surprise. It's going to be hard to move people in this situation. You know they're going to bring the pressure defensively. Because I remember playing in these spots, and my coaches always say, don't be afraid to try and create a safety, too. They're going to bring pressure.
And he'll take this up to about the 7- or 8-yard line. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
Charles, when you look at the stat sheet, you realize that both sides of the ball were so dominant in this game. And on offense, not only did they score it, but they did it through the air as well as on the ground. Everything was working.
And you know that the guys who scored the touchdowns, who contributed that way to threw them and ran them, they're going to find our cameras and have a big grin for them. But I hope our cameras find that offensive line. How versatile were they? Move the ball on the ground, move people so they can run it, and then protected their passers so they could throw it.
So for our visitors, the wins keep coming as this one moves them to 12-3 on the year. And they'll get another road date next week. Meanwhile, for the home team here, their playoff hopes take a big hit as they fall to 8-7. And they'll look to get back on the beam next week as they host the Pittsburgh Steelers.
It's a parade inside my city, yeah. We're coming for you, Orly. I hope David watching. I hope he watching.